hope you're all doing okay. So, introduction to my next guest. He first burst onto our TV screens, season 5 of Britain's Got Talent. He then went on to win the whole show, and since then has toured the UK. He's gone all around the world singing. He's been in musicals. This guy's done so much stuff, and he has the most beautiful voice. It was a real joy to chat with the fantastic Jai McDowall. Take a listen to our interview. Okay, so my first question for you is, describe your love of music and performing, and where do you think that comes from?
Oh, well, that's easy. So my dad is a singer and he plays music, so my love sort of stemmed from him, and also like his parents were musical as well, so they used to get us to sing like nursery rhymes and things as kids, so it just sort of was something that was always around and came from there. And then as I got older and realised I was kind of good at it, I was like, oh well, this is fun, this is easy. So sort of organically grew from sort of a genetic thing to just my own love of performing and singing and being on stage.
And what do you think is your earliest memory of music, or what type of music?
Oh, well, so going back to my nan and papa's house, they used to have a tape recorder, and they used to get us to sing into it and record tapes. But so that's sort of my earliest kind of memory of just singing. Performing wise, was The Little Mermaid. I used to be made to sing part of this world, part of your world.
Part of your world.
Part of your world. To the whole room of people. I was like, okay, random. It was Disney. It was released when I was in fact, I think it was released in 1986, the year I was born. No, I'm not sure. I think it was. But I'm just giving away my age as well. But anyway.
Don't worry, it's all good. That's the thing though with Disney, like it's so, I mean, it lends itself, doesn't it, to kids singing, and because it's been around for such a long time, like every generation you've got a new Disney or collective stuff. So,
I mean, I'm still singing Disney at 33, so we're all good.
yeah, me too. I teach small children, well, children of all ages, but the small ones, you know, they always go, oh, Jen, you're too old for Disney, and I'm like, hold the phone.
What?
Never too old for Disney. Ever.
Never.
So, who were your musical influences when you were growing up? Like, what kind of music did you listen to?
Well, let's see. I grew up in the sort of late 90s, as in teenage years. So it was all like your Britney Spearses and your NSYNC and boy bands, and so that was sort of what was popular. But then I sort of turned into a little bit of a wee mosher. So I liked bands like, you know, Slipknot and Papa Roach, all those kind of things. And so I sort of took a weird turn. I mean, I didn't sing any of that stuff because that would kill me. But no, I think growing up it was just sort of what was popular. My mum and dad, they used to listen to a lot of Queen. Okay. So I used to listen to a lot of that around the house, which was good. My mum also listened to Cliff Richard though, so...
Oh, brilliant. So you had like quite a catalogue of stuff around you.
Yeah, pretty much. And then as I grew up, like, as I say, my dad plays in a band, so I started going with him most weekends from, I don't know, about the age of 14. And so I was having to learn sort of all the popular music, but also some, like, in fact, actually, he did make me sing Bachelor Boy from Cliff Richard at one point. So that was fun. But I learned quite a lot of different styles of music because we used to play different, like, sort of gigs as such. So if you do a wedding, you'd be doing that, like a first dance song. But if you were doing like 60th birthday party, you were singing stuff from, you know, the 60s or whatever. So yeah, it's pretty good. And it actually kind of shows, like, when I do gigs and things as well, I do a lot of cruise ships, and when I go on, I tend to sing sort of things that I can talk about or have a connection with. And some of the songs, like a lot of the older generation will be like, "Why? How do you know that song?" And I'm like, "Well," and it's quite nice. So yeah.
Amazing. And so when you were growing up, you had all this musical influence, you had all this music around you. Was your plan to become a singer?
Well, not always. I mean, I went from astronaut to scientist to archaeologist. No, I think, to be fair, once, I can't remember what age, I was pretty young, and I was like, I like this, it's fun, and I think, though, a lot of that was brought on by, as I say, the fact that my dad was a singer as well, and I think just watching him, I was like, I want to do that when I grow up. So it was pretty easy transition.
Yeah. And tell us about your journey then to becoming a singer. You watched Dad, you sang a little bit, and then where does it all kind of come to?
I don't know. I think I used to do, obviously, the whole headphones in, sing really loud. It probably sounded horrendous, but we were on holiday as a family, and there was karaoke. And I can't remember. I think it was like Enrique Iglesias' Hero or something like that. And I know, cheese. And I was singing away, and when I came off, my dad was like, "How did you learn to sing like that? And how did you, like, there was something I can't remember. I'm not sure if I don't know if there was a key, I can't remember, a key change or something. I done something, and he was like, "How did you know to do that?" And I was like, "I don't know, I just did."
Yeah.
So that actually was when I was pretty young, and he then started taking me with his band, and then through that I knew I liked it, and my music teacher, actually, she saw me at the weekend when I was playing with the band, and she said, "Oh, I didn't know you could sing." And I was like, "I can't sing, what are you talking about? Don't tell lies." And I saw her, right, but I did the whole teenage thing, and I was like, "She does not exist, she's not here."
Yeah.
And she then sent me to sort of lessons to do my standard grade, as such, like my O levels or whatever it is you call them down your way. And yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was raging at the time, but I'm very grateful now.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of grew from there, because when I started doing the lessons, I started singing more musical theatre stuff. And then as I grew up, I joined a couple of amateur dramatics groups around the area, and just done some shows. And then, yeah, went from there, and I thought, like, this is, like, I enjoyed, as I say, doing it as a hobby, and then I realised, you know what, I'd love to do that on a bigger scale, and that's where the likes Britain's Got Talent was kind of came from. I tried for other things throughout the years, and I just thought, you know, I've got to 24 and thought, this is it, I need to do it, and I've given it my last shot, and then thankfully it worked out. And 9 years later, yeah, 9, oh, it's 9, yeah, in June, 9 years later, still doing it. Well, not currently, because coronavirus, but
So that was a really nice transition into my next question of Britain's You kind of knew, you knew. We've got to talk about it. So you won season 5. How was the whole experience for you?
It was pretty strange, I'm not going to lie. I sort of don't remember a lot of it. Because it was such a huge thing for me at that time. I came from a small village in the west coast of Scotland, and these big things don't happen. And I'd been to London a few times to maybe go and see some shows with friends, but I hadn't spent a lot of time there. So even just the vastness of that was like, what? I'm in London? This is nuts. And then obviously the TV studios and other contestants, and then, you know, the famous folk like your Simons and Amanda Holdens and Ant Beck, you know, seeing all them just casually around, I was like, what is my life? So yeah, it was quite a surreal experience, and it was quite like, obviously I was, so when it was all being recorded, I was flying to London and doing the stuff that they required, and then going home to a normal life, and then going back again. So I was sort of, it was almost like just not happening, or I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a strange thing. And then after it, even like, I don't know, oh God, months after it, I took ages to let it sink in. Even though I was out doing gigs and I was doing things and recording and all that, it still took a long time to sink in and be like, this is my life. this is random. So it was good. It was good though.
That's the thing, isn't it? I think like nobody ever expects to be the one. Do you know what I mean? Nobody ever expects. And I think when you've been doing the game a long time, you've been going to gigs, you've been going to auditions and stuff, it just doesn't happen. You know, the fact that you've been asked for an audition after they've seen your profile, you're like, oh, quid's in, I've got it, nailed it. The fact that you probably won't get the job, you don't even think about that. The fact that you were in the room, they saw you, that you're happy with that. So I mean, like, when then it gets a little bit further, you think, oh, okay, cool. No. And then I guess it just doesn't, you just don't ever think about it. And people say, oh yeah, but you should, but you just don't.
No, you do it, and that's the thing. And I think that was part of the, I actually enjoyed that though, because I sort of went for every single thing, and I was like, right, like, keep a positive mindset, try and, don't think too much about the negative side of things, and don't like self-sabotage as such. Don't say, oh, I'm not going to get through or whatever, because there was a few times like I thought, oh, like I remember the semi-final reveal, I was in a lineup with two dog acts and the big fellow that popped his eyes out his head.
Yeah.
And I was like, no way, no, I'm going home. And then I was like, no, stop it, just smile, just go for it. And and it went. And then even at the very end, like, Ronan and I were standing at the very end. There was two of us, and I was like, he's 12, he can sing, he's cute, it's fine, he's won, it's all good. And then it went in my favour, and I was like, what? That's why the genuine shock on my face was genuine shock.
But I think in a way that's lovely, because like you say, you're not, although you have to keep positive, because you have to remember the reason that you're doing it, because you want to be there, and sometimes the love of it can be taken away when you're when you're doubting yourself, or that's, and anxiety comes into it. You've got to remember why you're there, you want to be there, but the fact that you don't think that this is your shot, this is gonna, you're just enjoying it for what it is, when then things do happen, and like you say, and you did win, you're elated, and that's a brilliant feeling.
It was. It was strange, but good.
Good. And what was the Royal Variety Show like? Was it everything that you hoped it would be, or like?
It was nuts, just nuts. Like, I had a good, well, I think every year's a good year, but for me, like Tim mentioned, Penn and Teller, the magicians, and I'd watched them on telly since I was a kid because I love magicians. The Phantom, 4 of the Phantom of the Operas were there. Andrew Lloyd Webber was there. Barry Manilow, Tony Bennett was there. I was Peter Kay. I was just like, what? And I'm walking around being like, and this was what, 7 months after BGT, and I was like, still walking around going, what is my life?
Yeah.
Don't get it. It genuinely was. It was very surreal, and even like the performance was strange as well, because you just there was smoke, they put smoke on stage, but there was a safety curtain down, and because Peter Kay had done a couple of introduction takes, and the smoke was coming up and up and up, and it got to about there, and I was like, if he doesn't hurry up, they're not going to see me. But then my mum and dad and my auntie were there, and they were sitting sort of in the first few rows, and they said it was quite like when they opened the curtain, it just billowed out and went into the first few, and they were like, what? Fire! No, so that was kind of strange, but no, the whole experience was lovely though. It was nice and surreal. Basically, it was just. But I mean, I would do it again. Anyone listening?
Really happy that your family got to be there as well.
Yeah, and that's it. It's just a good experience. I've nothing else. Oh, there's my dog.
Eric. So since then, you've kind of performed all over the world, right? What would you say has been your highlight or highlights?
Oh, my highlights are. Can you hear that? I'm so sorry. There's a big plane going right overhead. My highlights, I've got lots. I've got lots and lots. I've performed in China. I've been on loads of cruise ships and met hundreds of wonderful humans. The Roy Variety, just touring around the UK. Like in the last couple of years, I've been touring with Jonathan Ansell from G4, and recently, just before this all kind of started, I was touring with Susan Boyle, so that was amazing. And just I've done and met people and seen places that I never ever would have otherwise, and it's genuinely been one of the things that I love about it, because I keep saying to folk, like, I'm in the middle of nowhere or whatever. I'm at a theatre, say, right down south of England, and somebody's like, where's that? And I'm like, well, I don't know where it is, but also, like, the Hastings advert comes on TV, and I'm like, I've been there. it's just not. Yeah, I mean, of all the places to name, I've been to LA, I've been to China, I've been to Australia, but no, let's talk about Hastings. Oh dear.
So if you could perform alongside any band, what band do you think you'd pick?
Oh, a band. Oh, well, I mean, Adam Lambert's beat me to it, but Queen.
Oh,
yeah.
I know. That combination is so good, but yeah, I mean, and about another artist, like, so not a band, a single artist.
Kelly Clarkson.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. I just love her. Just love her. That's all I can say. She's yeah, I remember being, I want to say 14, 15 when she came to the UK. Oh my God, yeah, forever ago. And yeah, myself, my mum, my auntie went, and it was just, we were right in the front, and it was just the best I've ever seen. Like, she is insane. There was no like gimmick. It was her stood on the stage for 2 hours straight with her band and her backing singers, who were mind blowing in themselves. Like, this is insane. Like, it was, incredible. And she just seems so cool. Yeah, she does seem so cool. I think that's why I like her. I'm like, she's so nice, and she's like, I don't know, she's got a kind of goofy side to her, which I love as well, because I also have a slightly goofy side. So it's nice.
People do, but it's whether people let it out. That's the thing, isn't it?
True. That's
true. I always say that. People are like, I love it, you're so silly. And I'm like, everyone's silly. It's just whether you let yourself be silly. And what about theatre? Because I know that you've done some theatre. Is there a show that you'd really, really love to be in?
I mean, everybody says like Phantom or Les Mis, and they would be amazing. But I don't know. I quite like, so I've been listening to the soundtrack for Moulin Rouge lately. Kind of like to be in it. Yeah, I'd love to be in it. But any show, really, So I'm up for anything. No, I think you need to be right for the part, obviously, and I think there's a lot of shows out there that are amazing, just amazing. Like, I watched Hamilton on Disney Plus. Still going to go and see it live, just so everybody knows. But I watched Disney Plus, and it was amazing. I loved it.
We're so lucky, like, obviously not at the moment, unfortunately, but we're so lucky in the UK to have so many incredible shows and so many brilliant theatres.
Hopefully they'll be safe, because I'll cry a lot.
Literally, I think there will just be millions of people around the UK sobbing.
Yeah, I might make one of those leave Britney alone videos, but the leave my fears alone. No, what? Do you think it would go viral? No.
Yes, do it. So what would you say was the best thing about being on tour? What do you love the most?
I mean, the people I tour with won't agree with this, but I do like the tour bus. I can't sleep on a tour bus, which is the only thing that I'm sort of like, oh. Yeah. But I like the fact that you're waking up in a new place every day. I love that. And I love that you can finish the show, meet the fans outside, get on the tour bus, and if you want to, you go to your bed. If you don't, you socialise with everybody that you're working with, and it's nice. So I like that, and it just, you're sort of like a little family for the however 7 or 8 weeks that you're touring, and it's nice. It's just nice.
Yeah. So I guess you've made like a lot of pals then while you've been doing, past 9 years. I guess you've made like a lot of friends within.
Yeah, I mean, I like. So when I was on tour last year with Jonathan, he they used to just, it was a running joke that every new place we went to, I'd have a friend, or do you know, like, oh, do you know someone here too? That's funny. I'm like, I do though, and I'm just friendly. That's it. I like, and when I always find that when you're working with people, it's easier just to be relaxed and chilled out and friendly, and especially like something like panto and things. When I do that, obviously you're together for a long, and it could be very lonely if you weren't socialising. So it's just nice to break the ice quickly and say, right, we're all on the same boat, we're all here to do the same job. Let's just all have fun and enjoy it at the same time as being professional. And it's good because most people are like that, you know, and it's great. And I always say that, like, friends up here, some of my friends that do the Amdram stuff, I'll always say to them, like, week of the show is what, like, panto's like. It's like you're there for 7 weeks, even though it's a job. Like, you still got to, you know, you bond really quickly and you create friendships that last. Like, I'm still on WhatsApp groups with people I was in pantos with like 5 years ago, and it's great because you do. Like, there are people all over. Like, I was supposed to be doing panto this year, and it just so happens one of the girls that played Snow White a couple of years later, she lives nearby, and she's like, well, if I'm doing panto and you're doing panto nearby, you can just rent my house and I'll and I was like, this is cool, love this, easy, don't have to think about it, thank you very much. But yeah, and even at that, like, especially cruises, because they're so the cast are like international,
Yeah.
that's the word, and they come from everywhere. So I know people, you know, in America and Australia, and Norway, places like that. So it's random. I'm like, what? I know people. Iceland, I've got a friend in Iceland who's just finished doing up a cabin, and she's like, feel free to come visit anytime. And I'm like, yes, I will.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Isn't it lovely when you're in a cast of people and you all have to rely on each other? That is the fact. You know, if somebody's not feeling good one show, you know, you've got to like rally around and pick them up and make sure that, and you know, if somebody's really on their A game, like, you can feed off of that. But I feel like that only really works if you are a tight-knit group, and if you do make the effort with people. I mean, this is something that my parents instilled in me from like tiny, but like, kindness costs nothing, you know. It doesn't, exactly, like manners and things, you know, like these things that are instilled in you, you know, it doesn't cost anything, and it just makes your life as well as everyone else's so much more enjoyable.
Yeah, isn't it? You're right, it costs nothing, and like strife and anger and hate, it's all it does is it hurts you as well as everybody else. So what's the point?
Absolutely. What's
the point?
Oh, none at all. So do you have a bucket list?
Yes, I do. I would love to see the 7 Wonders of the World. Like, okay. I think I've saw one, two. I've saw two. Yeah, saw two. So I've got 5 left. So so I would love to see them, and I just travel as much as possible. I don't really know. Now I'm thinking about this. I actually haven't written anything out. I never write lists. I'm terrible. I probably should. But but definitely that's my top one, because I love to travel and I love to see things, and I like the mystery that surrounds all these kind of places and all the stories you get with them, and and other things, I don't know. Top of the Empire State Building. I don't know. I've been to the Hollywood sign. That was one. I did that. I got lost. Actually, do you know what? So I don't know if what's the show called? Oh no, my mum and dad watch it. Scorpion. With Catherine McPhee in it. Yeah. Well, I was walking up and they were shooting an episode which I've saw since. When my parents are watching it, I get really excited. I was like, I've seen it. I was there. But I was like, oh, is this the way to the Hollywood sign? And they were like, oh yeah, just up that way. They sent me walking 2 miles in the wrong direction. I was raging. So when I came back, I was like, that's not the way. I take it the way is that way. And they were like, I was like, cool. And then they offered me a banana. So I was like, yeah, I'm taking the banana, thank you. Yeah. And now I'm going away. Took the banana. That was raging.
2 miles the wrong direction. You live here, you're shooting here. How rude! Like,
I know. It's like, what? But it's a funny story. And I got a banana, so, you know.
I mean, for me, the story is the thing. Like, it's all about, for me, all about making memories. I love being with friends and family and, you know, going to new places and seeing these things. And that, for me, just like makes life, doesn't it? I mean, you can say to people in 20 years' time, like, you know, you've just told me that story. It's made me laugh. It's made me smile. And that's what it's about, isn't it? It's making the memories, capturing them. I love a good photograph. I'm terrible. I take photographs of everything.
It's Instagram. It's Instagram's fault.
Oh, I know it is. It's true. But I mean, it's lovely, isn't it, to look back, you know, when it does those like memories. 2 years ago, you were here and you're like, oh, that's so cool. And you can either like, you know, reminisce with your friends or whoever you were with, or, you know, that's so awesome. But yeah, I love it. Travel is the thing, definitely. And do you have a go-to watch list? Do you have like films that you love, TV shows that you love?
But to be honest, I tend not to rewatch things, which is funny because like we've got kids in the family who watch the same like movies over and over and over again, and you think I did that as a kid too.
Yeah. And
it's funny that you lose that as an adult. But I think I've watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer a good few times. I don't know, movies wise. To be fair, the only movies I will rewatch are Disney movies, and sometimes even when the kids aren't around. But yeah, no, I haven't. I don't think recently I've rewatched. I tend to try and get good films to watch, especially recently because lots of time. But yeah, no, Buffy, Charmed. What else? Oh, I rewatched Sabrina the Teenage Witch. This was a few years ago. Watched the whole thing, start to finish. But no, recently I haven't. I did toy because Buffy came back on TV again.
Yes.
I thought, should I? But I didn't. I might though. It's on Amazon. I might.
I loved it. That when I was growing up, I used to watch it with my dad all the time. Dad and I used to watch Buffy. And Mum used to come in and go, "What are you watching?"
Yeah.
Or I used to love it. I used to go in school and tell all my friends that I learnt some like cool karate moves and everything, and they're like, "Oh, do you go to a class?" And I'm like, "No, I just watch Buffy."
Yeah, just watch Buffy. Buffy knows what she's doing. It's fine.
Of course she does. And what would be your ideal day for you if you could paint a day and say, right, I've got a whole day, I can do whatever I want in that day? What would you do?
Am I at home?
Wherever.
Okay. Well, if I'm not at home, I want to go to Disney. I want to spend the day at Disney.
I've got a Disney tattoo. Have you seen it yet?
Yeah, I did see it initially. That's really cool.
I know.
I love Disney. I went the last time I was there. I was out in America and I was staying with a family I knew, and they had kids and they went to Disney, and I think I got a little bit angry because the children wanted to go on the children's rides and we went on nothing because I was like, I'm queuing in all these things like cars. Oh, we queued in the cars queue, and we got to literally like, I don't know, 10 metres from the front, and it broke down. We'd queued there for about an hour and a half. Raging. So then I ended up going up. Do you know how when you see it, you see the photos and it's like the Ferris wheel and it's got Mickey's face in the middle, like the older style Mickey's face.
Yeah.
So I went on that, and that was fun. Although I got into bother because the wee boy that I was with, he was like, what to see outside, and I was like, oh yeah, look over there, and they put through the wee speaker and they're like, could you sit down, please? I was like, yeah, sit down. I'm so sorry, that was my fault. I was like, so excited. I wanted to look. It's like, it's so exciting. However, yeah. Oops. But yeah, no, a day at Disney would be great. Or any theme park, like Universal or Harry Potter World in Universal.
I've still not been.
Me neither. I'm gonna if I go out, I want to go. Oh, you mean? Oh no, I've been to the one in London.
I haven't been to either.
Not. Sorry. You should go. It's good. No, you should definitely go. It's really good. And there's a really good surprise at the end. I can't tell you about it, but the lady that was the usher and the girl that was doing the ushering there, when I went round the corner, she basically said my reaction was possibly better than most children's.
I love it. It's brilliant.
Quite funny. But no, it's a good trip actually. It's nice and it's quite fun, and I like things like that. Like I like finding out how they do things and all that sort of stuff. So it's good.
Amazing. When you've got, like you say, you've got children in your family. I have too. My brother's got 2 small children, and like any excuse to go anywhere, you know, I'm just like, yeah, well, I'll go. I'll do that. Yeah, I take my little niece, who's 3.5. I take her to ballet, obviously not at the moment, but God, the teacher says to me, she's like, I think you're more into it. I'm loving it. I'm like, there's scarves and ribbon. I'm terrible. I'm awful. I'm like one of the kids, you know. Yeah, terrible. But it's great, isn't it? It's any excuse.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. And what would you say is your favourite or go-to movie cinema snack?
Popcorn. Yeah, definitely popcorn. Salt and sweet though.
Oh, I always have both. Do you have both?
Yes, no, that's what I mean. Yeah, both mixed. Yeah.
Got to have both. It's so good. Yeah. It's
Some people think I'm a monster, but I don't care.
Yeah, but a very like accurately, you know, let's be honest, you have to have it. Absolutely. And like when you go to the really big cinema complexes, we don't have one here because we're such a small place, but like in like the cities and stuff, and you get those, what are they called? They're like icy things, like
Ice Blast.
Oh
yeah,
got one of them with a huge bucket of popcorn the size of your head. Yeah, perfect. I'm glad we're on the same page. These people who do like hot dogs and stuff, I think, what are you doing?
No, see the nachos, like they're a mess. You're gonna make such a mess.
Oh,
how are
God.
you gonna fix it? Just no.
It's just not okay. It's just not. Hot dogs are for bonfire nights and things like that. I mean, come on, what are you doing?
I agree.
Love it. And what has kept you busy during lockdown? What do you think has kind of
so I've painted the outside of my house.
Can I ask if you've done any DIY?
Yeah, lots. That's pretty much what's kept me busy. Other than the odd singing video and things, I've been doing a lot of stuff around the house that I normally probably wouldn't have time to do. Although I've added to the list, and my parents are living with me just now during this, and they're my dad hates me because he's like, why do you keep getting ideas? Because I have the time. So yeah, I've made so I started digging out some of my garden, and then ended up with loads of muck, and I was like, where did I put this? Oh, I'll just throw it in the grass. Covered the entire grass, so then it was just muck. So I had to then put seed down, and I've got new grass. It looks lovely. And, but now, because there was a big gap, I started getting ideas, and I was like, oh, I could make a concrete seating area. Let's go crazy. I'm still doing it, and that was about 5 weeks ago we started, maybe 6. Whoops. It's fine. So yeah, that, and just dog walks, taking the dog a walk, and chilling out, and just trying to organise things. Like I've organised a few things that I've needed to do for a long time, and playing again. Can you hear that? Can you hear? I mean, they're not even going on holiday. It's a freight plane. I can't see it. Anyway, Karen, pick me up. Take me with you. Yeah. So just random stuff that I don't normally get the chance to do.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, you've had time, which a lot of the time you don't have time.
Yeah.
So I mean, although it's been like you have got kind of like menial jobs done.
And the thing is, so for the first couple of weeks I did struggle because normally when I've got time at home, I know that I've got work coming. But this time I was like, this is not going to end anytime soon. So I sort of had to rethink, and I was like, right, I need to be grateful for the sort of guilt-free time at home to do the jobs that I need to do, and it was good.
Yeah. And do you know what's next for you once we come out of this?
I have no idea. It depends how long it lasts, to be honest. As I say, I had Panto booked in, but I don't know if I'm going to get the chance to do that or whether theatres will be open. So after that, it just depends on what comes, really. So yeah.
I know the feeling. Yeah, we're planning on reopening in September, but you know, I'm going with that idea, and I'm rolling with it. And yeah, I've been writing for it and everything, but yeah, I think in the back of my mind, I know if it's a possibility that it won't happen, but I think because there's that little seed, I'm just rolling with it for now.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That'll be good.
Go with it for now. So my last question for you is, if you had to, somebody said to you, right, you're going to do a concert and you're going to do a concert now, what would be your 5 top songs that you would include in that concert?
Bring Me to Life.
Yeah, love that song.
Anthem, because I'm known for that. I'll Never Love Again. Go the Distance, Hercules, maybe. And try to think of something. I like Out There from Hunchback of Notre Dame, but I don't know if I mean, yeah, we'll go with that. There's loads more, but we'll go with that.
Those ones,
great
tunes. I love them. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. I've loved it.
No problem, Jay. Thank you very much for having me on. It's a pleasure. Sorry about the planes.
Don't worry about it. It's all good.
We can just pretend that when we hear them, they're taking us away somewhere nice.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I was going to say sunny, but some of us have sun, some of us don't.
It's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, and fingers crossed for opening in September.
Oh, I know. I really hope so. What I'll do is I'll send you the link when it goes up. This goes up on the channel.
Awesome. That'll be good. Thank you.
Awesome.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, you too. Take care.
Thank you. Ta-ta.
Bye. Thank you so much, Jai, sharing all of your tips for being in the industry and your story of what it was like starting out at Britain's Got Talent and to where you are now. Amazing. So I've still got guests. They keep coming. I promise there's still more. Please stick with me. And I'll see you all really, really soon. Take care, everybody. Lots of love. Bye.